Okay, wow. I think it's probably my computer rather than me being targeted, but it's very strange how Zoo. Wow. Yeah, I think it's my computer, really. Might just lag, or there's a possibility that what they're trying to do is drive people away without them looking like villains, maybe. I don't know, mate. But I'm just setting up again. Yeah, I'm just setting up. Bear with me. I mean, the purpose of this is to demonstrate what happened. See if I can recreate what happened yesterday, so I can understand a little bit more about it. And that is, let me share my screen a minute. You still there, Zoo? Thanks for coming back, mate. Be great. I don't drink anymore, but mind you, I've given up on the ball. I'm on the ball. Yeah, football. Right, I'm gonna present my screen. Share screen. It's the only way. Well, at the same time, if you share the screen doing all this, it's a good way to educate people. Honestly. Right. Okay. It's a really interesting thing, but it's just a shame it's marred by witchcraft of some description, which is what it is. You've got all these little options down here, look. Let me boom that up a minute. This is a plug for StreamYard, actually. You see, with this latest thing that's come up, and I'll demonstrate it in a bit, hopefully I'll get a comment spank, and I'll see if I can comment on my own live stream, actually. Right, so that's what I'm looking at here. What I'm going to do is go to my channel here, hopefully. To drink Zoo? I mean, I'm not going to make any assumptions about the Scottish, that they had a drink named after them. Right, right, this is me here now. I'll click on that and shut up a minute. This is me here now. Right, so I'll mute that. That didn't, did that? Yeah, we was showing up that. Nobody's liked it. Why is that? Right, it's lagging by about. Zoo. Right, now what is that's still running. And this is a studio here. Hopefully I ain't got booted out again. Honestly. Honestly. Right, well, I'm going to assume that I can actually be heard. Can I? Can I be heard? Testing, testing. Wow. I. What does that mean? I. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I guess we're back on track then. Right. Now, I'm going to boom up. I'm going to get me out of the way a minute, shall I? Or let me try this one down here. Look. Now, this is coming out about half a minute slower. I don't know that. Let me get me out of the way. Now, I've got some notes here. This is the third attempt. I'm posting a comment on a specific channel, and I'm going to do it now on a certain video. And then I got you're banned from commenting. Right. This next one will be my fourth attempt. Copy that. There's a lot of mention of blood, but there's other comments on there that mentioned blood and bullet. But it's gonna, at this specific moment in time, what else would people be talking about? Why are they censoring anything to do with bullets, splashes of blood, skin really ejected, questioning the evidence of certain things said, etc. Right, I'll copy that. Right, I haven't actually gone on that yet. Boom. I'll come back here. How was T-Lad? Oh, there he is, Robert Wild. Robert Wild. That always reminds me, Rob, you always remind me, well, yeah, you frequently, when I mention your name, of that, not the 9 o'clock news sketch, the interview with the gorilla. Right, so this is Ron's channel. I'll put a link. Now this is going to, this, and it will load. This is Ron's Just a Voice. 5. It's so simple and right before your eyes. Okay, and what is anybody expecting to not happen? People are going to be talking about it. It's going to be. I don't understand it. Well, I do understand it. I know pretty much what part of the agenda is, and it's interfering in relationships. That's what it's doing. So anyway, the comment I've just copied. This will be my fourth attempt. It says 5 comments. Can that be seen? Anybody into Formula One? 5 comments it says. That's big enough. Wrong replies there. I'll have a look at that. Or maybe I won't actually. You can go on it yourself. Right, newest first. You should get all comments when you go newest first. You all know that now. See, I've already been here. I've liked all of those. And the comment I'm about to make is, as it says, 4th attempt at commenting. Okay, I won't read any of it out. I mean, there are words that you might imagine at a different time for whatever reason, I don't know. There's no reason to not talk about things like that. What happens with surgeons when they're talking? Perhaps that's no, actually, that is it was for hate crime, inciting hatred or something. So that is it. Comment. Okay, now I'll demonstrate this. Quickly come back here. Did that actually come out? Is all this coming out? Right, so now we're going to sort by top comment. Mine should be, oh, it's not even there now. Normally it stays there for a minute. Newest first. Still 5 comments. Wow. Fifth attempt. So if I'd have made a video of this, I'd have been fanning around and what should I wait? Should I change anything on it? Just so it's not regurgitated spam. Right, let me fanny this around a bit. Copy that, delete it. And I'll bang it in there. Let's make that a little. Why no smudged blood around his mouth? Some might call it a clean shot. Why are they making a crisis out of a drama? Well, I'm going to copy that one now. Copy, comment. There we go. Now, I didn't, down here, that will fit in. Yes, it does. Now, no, it doesn't. Got it? That's what we want. Right, there's that got it there. Now, I didn't push it this morning. I thought, right, I'm going to go live and do what I'm doing now, really, basically. But I was just showing the process that I'd only made 1 comment. Maybe it's because I didn't push. Yes, I've got it. I've got it. Yeah. Commenting paused to protect the community. Let me see. I'll come back here a minute. Hold it, Rob. Let me get over this a minute. I want to get this done and dusted. Give me 5 minutes. I just want to know if it's coming out, actually. This. Is that coming out? Commenting pause to protect the community. Can you see that? Testing. Yeah, Chuck. Yeah. So I don't know if that's a recent thing, but I want to get it. It does ramp up things a bit. Like I say, so got it. I've got it. We discovered that comments that you've left may violate community guidelines. I'm not going down that route. Comments. Why it should just be one comment, surely. And hate speech policies. The F. What the Hillary Clinton is hate speech policy. You'll be able to post comments again in one day. I'll tell you why that is. Possibly is because I'm still on my ban from this morning, whenever that happened. Do I have any feedback? Let us know. Well, this will be interesting. Help us to understand your feedback better. Google Feedback needs to authenticate your session to collect a complete feedback report. Without this, we will get an anonymized partial report, limiting our ability to address it effectively. Okay, so what they might be doing here is trying to coerce me through fear policy. Did I read the word policy on there? No, not now. I'm not allowing it now. I never will allow it then. I'm not going down that route of getting trapped. So if I just go not now, wow, is it as long as that? No. Describe your feedback. Tell us what prompted this feedback. I'm gonna, right. What? Screenshot, well, I'm not really, I'm making this up go along, I might change it. Any ideas? Any ideas? How to address it? Right, I'll open up a panel now because I think this might be something that we can get around and try and address. So if I invite, sorry I keep you all hanging around, particularly everyone. I've copied that. Now I've got to come here, I think, to do this. I learned this on my, ooh. Ah, I'm here, aren't I? Wow, that's running. I don't want that running. Right. Oh, gosh. Right, that's the link. This little thing down here, this is behind. This heart thing down here, it's a pain in the arse. And it's so laggy. Oh, mind you, I shut this. I'm going to stop that. Right, now I can get to this little button down here. Pin message. Alright. StreamYard open. Just get some feedback for Google. Ah, the sound of. Now that was a clunk. That was a clunk. And that was my beloved brother and Rob. Wow, Rob. Flipping out, you look so young, mate.
Oh, what? I don't think so.
Honestly, you look about 10 years younger since I saw you last. What, I'm being honest, mate. I'm being honest. Eh?
Must be the elixir of life.
Yeah, what are you sucking on then? It's what wine, isn't it? I knew it. Yeah, wow. Good to see you again, Rob. I know you can't see me, and I'm not going to be showing my face at this juncture. Only because the only reason is because it incites the hatred out of people. You know what I mean? And for something obvious, some let's call it visual disability that would be construed as a disability, or something that would be bullied over, you know, then I don't want to be inciting people to just be nasty, because there have been some really nasty comments made. Hey, I'm not upset or anything. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's just everything's repeating itself. Everything's repeating itself.
Have you got YouTube on? Have you muted? You haven't done it for a while, have you? On the level, how you doing? Check your. Are you watching it on YouTube?
Oh, that's better.
There you go.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Say something.
Oh right, yeah, it's all sorted now. Sorry, it's just weird. It was like a double feedback. Everything you were saying was repeating itself.
Like an echo, isn't it? Right, lovely, absolutely wonderful to see you again, Rob. Hey? Say again?
How are you, Rich? All right, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's all right, yeah. There's a bit of a lag between the StreamYard live and the YouTube live. It looks like it's about 30 seconds, or it was. So what we've just said now, the
I'm not on you.
YouTube will hear it 30 seconds time. It'll be live in 30 seconds time. So it's not absolutely live. There's a lag. Anyway, yeah, wonderful to see you, Rob.
I'm on StreamYard, obviously. I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's just a thing of note, really, that what we're saying now, it's like the sun being 93 million miles away and the light taking about 9 minutes to get to us. Because we're, yeah, that sort of thing. So they're getting the lag, really. It's like the speed of.
Yeah, well, we all know the sun's not 93 million miles away, don't we? It's a lot closer, same as the moon.
That. Yeah, well, that's what I think. Anyway, logic would just say that it ain't that far away, really. If there's a difference in the poles, we'll go on the globe model here. If there's a difference in the poles of, say, the diameter of the Earth. What's the diameter of the Earth, do they say? Anyone know?
No.
Do you know? What is it, 3,000 miles, something like that?
Have you seen that? Have you seen the latest? Oh, it's a lot, yeah, but it's very close. In fact, the sun and the moon are probably the same distance. They make out that the sun being
Rob,
93
hold it, Rob,
million miles away.
Hold it, Rob, I'm not talking about the moon. I'm talking about the sun on the globe Earth model. What's the diameter of the Earth, roughly? It's not more than 10,000 miles, is it?
Don't talk globes.
Well, you were indoctrinated with it, Rob. Same as I was. I never knew that until I got into flat Earth. The diameter of the Earth. I never knew that when I was growing up. That didn't really interest me. That. The only reason I got interest, the only reason I became interested in like the dimension,
The sound
you
isn't
know,
very good on here. I don't know why. Can you hear me all right?
Can you not hear me? What?
Can you hear me, Rich?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Well, I've been shut up again.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, it's weird. The sound's all fucked up, mate.
But,
What I was saying earlier was that I believe that the sun and the moon are exactly the same size and they're the same distance apart on a flat Earth when they're rotating around the flat
no,
disk that we live
Bob,
on.
you don't understand, do you? I've
They're
said
not
on the globe Earth model, if the Earth, let's just say the Earth is
yeah, but we're not on a globe, are we?
Yeah, I'm debating about the globe Earth, Rob, and something that doesn't make logical sense.
Yeah.
If the Earth is,
Well, we don't live on a globe.
Let's shut up, Rob, please. If the Earth has a radius that is from the center point to the edge, okay, facing the sun, let's say it's 5,000 miles then. The distance between the equator and
Right.
the North Pole is 5,000 miles from in distance away from the sun, which is 93 million miles away. Now, to get that scorching heat at the equator, surely it's not just going to die down to freezing point within 5,000 miles of distance between what is facing the sun, what is in first contact with the sun, which would be the thing closest to it, which would be the equator. So that to me demonstrates the fact that the effect of the sun is smaller because it is closer. So it has can only affect a certain distance from the equator. There ain't going to be no difference in temperature off of the sun within the space of 5,000 miles at 93 million miles away. 5,000 miles is a pinprick. Can you hear that? Can anybody hear what I just said? Zoo, can you hear me? Talk about something, Rob. I've been shut out. Have I?
The sound on here is very, very bad.
Well, that
Very,
might
very
be
bad
you
sound,
then, Rob.
Rich. You're like talking really, really slow. Words are coming through with gaps in between.
Yeah, I've got to talk slow, and I do have to. How do I put it?
Did you get that?
I do have to limber up for certain words that I struggle to pronounce because of just because of my jaw issue and my mouth issue. I've got to think before I open my mouth of how I'm going to say it physically. Sounds all right on the level, does it? Out of 10, 10 being is acceptable, and 1 being just shut the live stream down. No, 5 being just shut the live stream down and then try again. Because if you can't hear me, Rob, maybe you're listening to it on YouTube and not StreamYard. Are you doing that?
Sound is terrible, Richard. I don't know if you could hear me saying this, but the sound coming through on here is terrible.
10 out of 10, lad. For me or for Rob? What's Rob sounding like, Zoo? And on the level? I think it's you, Rob. You're rusty, mate.
It's getting worse now, Richard. You're breaking up in everything you say.
Cool, mate. Well, you're sounding. I think it's they're attacking you, Rob. Go out and come back in again. Rob's gone. Parsnip. You can all hear everything loud and clear. What about Rob? Could you hear Rob loud and clear? Because what I think they're doing. Well, again, this could be technology issues, couldn't it? But this is quite a new avenue they've gone down with Robert Wilde there. I think you've got automatic access anyway, Rob. Hello, Rob, my friend. Can you hear me now? Testing. Say something.
Yeah, I can hear you, but the sound earlier, it was like all broken up and like.
Yeah, what's it like now? More importantly, Rob, what's it like now?
I can hear you every word you're saying now.
Perfect. And you, same as well. That's perfect then.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Ah,
But
brilliant.
I understand.
So hopefully we've got it sorted.
Yeah. So, yeah. Have you had your interview yet, Rob? You hear that?
Have I had what?
Your interview.
What did you ask me? Have I had what?
And you had an interview, didn't you? Rob?
Can you hear me, Rich?
Yeah, I can hear you. What about you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Everybody else can hear me. It must be.
Oh yeah, I can.
It must be putting something up between you and me, really, if that's possible. Nothing comes between you and me, Rob. Yeah. So anyway,
Rob needs to be a touch higher. What, in volume?
No, in height, mate. You can't hear me, can you? You can't hear me. Rob needs to be a touch higher. Yeah.
We were talking about the sun and the moon, weren't we?
Yeah, right. This is the thing. What I want to do is address this comment issue. That's paramount, really, because there's Dave Ollie there. Welcome, Dave. Trooper from up north.
Hi, Dave.
Time is about now that.
All right, Dave. How are you? Good to see you, my friend.
Time is about now that there was an alignment moving up.
The boys are backing down.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just an alignment he's doing. Really, it's just
You
to
notice
move
that,
it up
Rich?
and
I've got a coffee.
Oh, have you?
Not wine.
Yeah, I've been hankering after port of recent because I had to totally give up drinking. I haven't drunk for a long time anyway, properly. But I've been getting a hankering for port. There's some medications I'm on. I can't drink. But I think, well, I mean, a sniffy, a little, how to explain it?
I'm just going to check my internet connection. It's showing a little symbol at the top, just one little mark on the scale of.
Focus is a key. What's the topic? Well,
as far as I'm aware,
let me get back to this anyway.
Where it's fully
right, Rob.
It shouldn't be.
Move around a bit. Let me explain now. You sort your technical issues out because you are going fuzzy and juddering about. That might just be my end. But I'm having problems as well.
Signal. That's weird. So it's how come it's only showing one little bar on the top? Is that because it's you or because it's something else?
Is that your power?
What's your internet like?
Mine's.
Can you hear me, Rich?
Yeah, my internet is straight wired to the router. Right. I'm going back to sharing my screen. What's the topic? The topic is initially Parsnip. I'm going to move you out of the way a minute so it's all screen. This here hold it, Rob, hold it. This here. We've gone through the process and got banned for commenting for a day. That's this one back here. Then I'm going to give feedback, describe my feedback. I will include the comment I made, which is this one here. Actually, right. No, that's not it. This is what I'm going to do anyway. This is what I want. I'd like a bit of input about, because there's nothing wrong I can see with this comment. Bearing in mind that the number one thing that people are talking about is the Trump fang. So that's my comment. My comment incited hatred. Huh? And I'll come back to the StreamYard in a little bit, and then we can edit what I'm going to put. But you only get one opportunity to do this, I think. No, you can't move it right. My comment incited hatred, huh? Fourth attempt. Right, what I'm going to do is right, my comment that right. I don't know whether anybody can see that. Right, Rob, are you there? Have you popped back out again? Rob, did you just stick that in front of what I'm doing? And then go again. Don't do that, please. Right, so don't try and fight corrupt. Right, let me go through these. What's the topic? It's addressing the latest comment ban. And I did demonstrate it earlier on. That's what it's really all about. And then just opening it up to ideas, really, but it's superb. Loitering with intent. Let me have a look. Focus is key. Yeah. Is that Rob again? No, with it. Yeah, there's Rob there. With it's Rob. Just going through these comments. Can you hear me? Rob, can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Rich?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know what's happening here. It keeps booting me out for some reason.
Well, you just got a bit of a lag by the sounds of it. Oh, it was happening to me, Rob. So I think just because we've got different internet different computers, different just different drinks. Actually, I got a coffee as well, so we've got the same drinks. So the coincidence is a little bit too above 50% to not tickle my paranoid button and think, right, well, that's what it's all about.
I get what you're saying, my friend.
Yeah. So
it's just weird because not only was I keep getting booted off, your voice was getting like stopped and it was like distorted and it was weird. I checked my internet connection, everything. I've got a full signal, everything's fine. So it's not the internet. I know that, not my end anyway.
Correct. Right, let me just go through these comments, Rob. Don't try and fight corruption or any narratives. Just await your next time. Don't try and fight corruption. There's a saying about addiction. Don't try and beat an addiction. Replace it with something else. You know, it doesn't work all the time, obviously. This is a mindset of thinking, well, rather than attack the problem.
This is a drama in my eyes, just saying no offense meant.
Rather than beating the crisis, fighting the corruption, running narratives, yeah, it just doesn't exist. I forgot what I was about. Maybe put me on. Drama. Yeah, so anyway, that's about, let's get this comment thing out of the way. This is drama in my eyes, just saying no offense, man. Rise above and wait for another change. Well, it's one of those things. I think what's recently happened is part of something, because I think something major, bigger, happened in Great Britain with the politics and what we've got in charge now, the Fabian Society. Now, that is pretty much the end of the line. For Britain, really, I think, unless there is some sort of defence put up against it. That's what UK column. I might get a link. I might bring them up in a bit later, if I'm reminded, because I do tend to forget. UK column news. Look them up. I'll put a link in the description eventually, once this live stream's done. I'll put it in the chat. UK column news. Watch them. They've been done for years. They were even stood as started up as a political force, really, for people like us. But grassroots people like us, not like your Nigel Farage's, but
Farage.
Reggae Gospel for Jesus, Yeshua.
Nigel Farage.
Wow. Praise the Lord. Thank you for joining us and blessing us with our recognition that
Hi, Paul.
with two more gathered, there you are in our name. Well, there we are. There he is in his. With two more gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them, and they dwell. I love getting into Bible. See, I learn more than I got to teach about the Bible, Rob. So I'm more of like to be educated in Scripture, really, because I was a late reader of the Bible. Took an interest in it really late in my life. Which, and I mentioned it today to a friend of mine in the One Stop. I said, wow, if I got any regret, it's that I didn't read the Bible as soon as I come out of the womb, which is true. you know. So to have, yeah, just to have
when you come out,
on
Richard,
reggae as well.
when you came,
Say again, my friend. Carry on.
so when you came out the womb, did you hear a
Paul? No, Rob. No, we don't want to get a triple X rating. Drive by supporting.
it
Yeah,
wasn't
thank you
showing
so much
peace
for
from a
sharing.
pod then?
Say again. Brother Reggae, Gospel for Jesus Yeshua.
Sounds gone
What
bad
have
again.
you got a name? Yeah, you'll have to we'll have to look you up really just to see what kind of team you've got.
Oh, this sounds
and
terrible.
I'll find you later on. I'll put a link in the description because I don't think there's any other culture that has put scripture into such a fantastic medium of expression. Lyrically, I'm talking. How they reggae can make scripture into music and sound fantastic, and always the message like behold has got to be my number one record of all time. Behold by Culture is absolutely amazing, and if I could play videos and getting a good quality sound for it, I would play it now or in a bit or at the end or something. That tune is that the lyrics are absolutely spot on, and the lyrics are pulled from scripture. It's absolutely amazing. So that is my love for reggae, was for the music before the message. Then come the message when I got into reggae gospel quite a long time ago, well before I was introduced to this channel on the screen. But how, yeah, it can make scripture palatable and non-boring. Let's put it that way. For just as an enticement, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's boring." No, it ain't boring. It's quite the opposite. It once once you've had a sip of it, it's like, and if I had a sip of port now with the intention of just having a little sip and letting the taste last about 20 minutes, I would have finished the glass. I probably won't finish the bottle. But yeah, so I just want to pick up Reggae Gospel for you, Yeshua. Yeah, Jesus. The letter J didn't arrive until 1500 and something, Rob, did it? You've gone right, Rob. Paul Fisher there. Brother Paul, how do you do, my friend? Yeah, so thank you for providing gospel combined with foot tapping, body tapping. Yeah, Paul, welcome, my friend. There's a link if you want to come on at any point and have a chat about subbing. You can chat about council tax if you want and how that's going, because I'm still ongoing with that. Still totally ignoring everything, but it's exciting times. The least of my worries is that reggae. Yeah. So Paul. Right. The link's up there somewhere. So what I've got here, what I am addressing now is this censorship ban here. Nobody's mentioned any change. Rob didn't. My comment, fourth attempt at commenting, no blood visible before he went down, including on his hands after touching his ear. There wasn't any blood visible. That was a matter of fact. No splatters of blood or skin ejected as the bullet hit. There wasn't. It's a matter of fact. As you mentioned, Ron, this is Ron, just a voice. I'll put a link eventually. No blood on his hair or shirt. Why? No, why no smudged blood around his mouth? You know, at least wipe it off before he gets up. No. Some might call it a clean shot. That was a joke. In a time when somebody is reported to have actually died, and people don't volunteer to die. Well, I don't know, some people might. But no, somebody died. I don't care whether anybody says prove it, somebody died. Two people died, in fact, somebody on the roof. So, one or two people were injured, and somebody was shot in the head. However, or they make a drama out of crisis. It is inciting hatred. Is it? Right. While commenting on, should I bother writing all this? Nah, stuff it. I can't be arsed with that. Send. Let me see if there's any small print. Can't see it. Let me make it small then. A screenshot. I think you're right there. Angel. Pretty little angel eyes. Pretty little angel eyes. Pretty little, pretty little, pretty little, pretty little, pretty little, pretty little angel eyes. Right, I've hidden it now because I want to show me posting this. Now I can't comment on any. Okay, must be enough, isn't it? Send. Add more detail to help us better understand your feedback. Add more information. Nope. Report sent. Thank you. Through gritted teeth. We use feedback like yours to help fix issues and improve Google services. Full stop. Well, apparently they recently changed to something called Gemini as a part of an AI thing, I think. That's what they're blaming now. Genesis, sorry. Either Gemini or Genesis. They're blaming that. Plus there was that outage which apparently didn't affect. No, this has been going on for a little bit longer than that. This got it. Right. This comment censorship has been going on for years. Only now they're making it public. So I'm still banned. Right, I'm going to leave a link to this. Copy. I'll be back here in a minute. It's a palaver, this, isn't it? However, that's Ron's channel, that. Oh, I hope he doesn't get attacked by YouTube. I think he can handle everybody else. It's just YouTube. And Travelling Jack. Right, the link to StreamYard is the link for StreamYard is up there. And oh, I need to be over here, don't I? Right. Angel, angel, angel. Let me go back up here. Right, you're seeing what I'm seeing. Hi, Rob. Are you still there, Rob? Maybe your computer's a bit rusty. There you go. Angel. There's a link. There should be a link pinned. If you want to come on, say hello. Talk about anything, really. The censorship is a thing that is quite another level, that, of naughty step, childish, passing the buck to AI. Oh, we're just trying this out. Well, while they're trying it out, keeping us from communicating, you know, it's not as though we're going to change the outcome or get sucked down the Trump shooting thing and away from things that are happening elsewhere, because there's only so far this can be taken. I think his speech was very telling. And then be prepared for something else, really, that is going to warrant shutting speech down, because it surely can't be that. That must have been expected. The mention of blood. Yeah. So I think, what else was going to do? Oh, yeah, absent friends as well. Censorship. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find David Yates on BitChute. I think that's his main one, BitChute, and I'll link to him. I don't stay in regular contact with him. I don't use BitChute. I think I have recently, might use it once, but I don't really use YouTube that much for a year. Yeah. It was a pantomime. Did I see pantomime? Someone mentioned pantomime. There's a lot of questions, really, that people are obviously going to answer, are going to ask. So I don't think. Well, let's see if they come back and say anything. What was this from? Commenting. I've never had it before. I know people have been banned before in the past, but I don't understand the hate speech bits. And it was May. Well, you can't put a man to death because he may have killed half a dozen people. Well, he may have done it. Well, kill him then. Well, he may not have. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt until it's proven otherwise, and the only way it can be done is by scrutiny from somebody that thinks they're a human being. Yeah. I'm about 7 years, something like that. However long I've been on my own. Oh, never mind. Making food. Making those rain check. No thanks. Angels got a gun. Angels got a gun. That's all I know that one. I think that's Tyler bloke, his band. What was his name? What's it called? Stake. Yeah. Stake. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, while I'm trying to, well, I don't think Rob's coming back, is he? If I go to BitChute, also Gab as well. I'm on Gab, and I had an interesting text message, an interesting email from Gab recently. But I've only just opened because I'm not an emailer. I'm not into email really. Right, what's the topic here? I've just seen that. Pseudo, what does that say? Pseudo Silas. Welcome. Pseudo, new Silas. Well, currently the topic is censorship. How it's moved to another level. Pseudo Silas, welcome.
Yes, hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Clear, and I would say reasonably loud. Maybe it's not so much what I can hear as much as what the comments can hear, what they can hear. If it so, but yeah, you sound great.
Okay, good.
What do I call you? Pseudo Silas?
Yeah, you could just call me Silas or Sue. That's just my YouTube name.
Yeah, your handle.
Yep, that's my handle.
Yeah, new Silas.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, pseudo Silas, based on the saint from the Bible.
Gotcha. Are you a Bible reader then? Can I assume
what?
that? You refer to the Bible. Do you study the Bible?
Yes, I'm a Catholic.
Okay, now. Okay, now.
Sorry, what did you say?
Well, it was basically whether you have fundamentally it's about whether or not you have some understandings of the Bible, really.
Yes, I do. I have a
Yeah.
my whole channel is an apologetics channel, so I
Okay.
read the Bible quite often.
Yeah.
Yep.
Splendid. The reason I sort of uttered to a stop when you mentioned Catholic was I'll do it the same with any denomination. I'll just utter and I haven't really got a response to any of the denominations apart from the one that I was christened or baptized to be a member of or christened was the Church of England, which I am no longer a member of. I denounced that as my church, and I became, I suppose, freelance, really.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be out of my way to visit churches of all, of many denominations, just to hear and be with the Christians, really. I think there's that element of being in a congregation of Christians that are sort of grounded in Jesus, full stop.
Yep.
Irrespective of how the preaching is being is referencing and as an interpretation of the Holy Bible. This is where the thing is confusing is in the different interpretations of one book,
Yeah.
which is the divisions, and only one can be right.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, there are a lot of interpretations that are out there.
Yeah, and if I add, I'll take back what I just said, because there's nothing to say that any of the denominations has got it perfectly right. Pick a denomination. I asked one of my medicals, the team working on me, who's a born again Christian. I said to him years ago, 5 years ago, I said, I'm sort of having this thing about denominations, and I said, because I'm kind of like freelance, born again, I got Jesus and I got a Bible. That's all I need. But if I wanted to congregate and people that are exactly like me in a sort of a recognized church denomination, I said to him, which one would I choose? I said, it's quite confusing. It wouldn't drive me to any. Fortunately, it didn't drive me to any.
Yeah.
Because because I've got that freedom to be with more people, I guess, and be in communication with more people. It's more as a witness of whether people are actually getting justice, getting the full truth of what is should be being taught, which is to save us from sin. Really, is it? It is. That's the whole point of it: is to save us from our sins.
Yep.
And people don't. A lot of churches don't dwell on that enough, because they don't really dwell on it at all, in a sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you mention Catholic, well, there's a lot of things I sort of hear of other people's opinions of the Catholics, the Roman Catholics, the Jehovah's Witnesses, who over the years have been so supportive and coming round, visiting me, preaching, not really preaching. They were just there, ready to answer any questions that I had with the Bible as the medicine.
Yeah.
They could do that. They did that. So the Jehovah's Witnesses that became friends with London there. I'll invite you up, London, straight away. I'll add you.
Oi, oi. Good evening, Jeff.
Good evening.
Right, so London, also known as KJV. Can I say that, London?
Of course you can.
Yes, my brother. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for coming on again.
No problem.
Your last appearance was awesome. London, meet Silas. I don't know if you already met in the past.
Hello.
First time. How you doing, Silas?
Good.
Good stuff. You sound like you from a different continent. Where are you from, my friend?
Yes, I'm from the United States of America.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of friends over there. Whereabouts?
New York State, around that area.
Okay, cool. New York. Nice. Big up.
It seems romantic. All these foreign cities, they've got this romantic overlay by the tourist boards, I guess.
Yeah.
But when you get there, I think, well, I could not live in New York with all that mayhem.
Yeah.
And all that cutting out of free flow of oxygen and, all that high-rise stuff. No, I couldn't do that.
Hey, Silas, I gotta ask you this, man. I mean,
Yep.
how big are the rats over there?
How big are the bells? I should specify. I don't live in New York City. I live a few hours north of New York City. I have been to New York City before, and there are some big rats there.
Oh God, I heard a lot about the rats over there. But
yeah, they're not fun. They're not fun,
yeah.
especially at night when you're walking by Central Park and there's just massive rats everywhere.
Yeah, I heard that's why half of them wear Timberland boots. They got to be on guard.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Hugo.
So what's going on with Donald? Do you catch any of that stuff?
Oh, with Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Well, our president just announced that he's dropping out, which, you know, we don't usually here in the United States. That doesn't usually happen this close to the election. Usually by July, you know, the two nominees are locked in. And we've never had an open convention. An open convention is basically they skip the primaries. The primaries are when the voters of each party vote. And then the convention is where they confirm it. This year, it looks like they're just going to skip the primaries for the Democrats and just go to the convention, which has never been done since 1952. And we're going to get a new nominee because Joe Biden, our current president, just announced in July that he's dropping out because he had a horrible debate performance against Donald Trump. And so they don't think he can win. So they're going to try and run his running mate, Kamala Harris, the vice president.
Oh, so she might be in with a shout then. Maybe we could see a female president. You think that might be the case?
That could very well be the case. That could very well be the case. I know, Richard, I know you posted a video of Archbishop Fulton Sheen. Archbishop Sheen had a prediction back in the 1950s that in 2024 in the United States, they would elect a woman president. So we'll see if that actually comes to pass. That may very well come to pass.
Could do by default, really.
Yeah.
Which can be simply manufactured.
Yep.
But I think we've got to go some to beat Donald Trump now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Jim. I don't get involved in it. I see the pantomime of it. I mean, the Joe Biden, when he was falling up the stairs when he got into the plane, it was sort of like he was walking up counting, slipped, and then he lifted his leg up and he didn't. It was like, I think like the 13 came into it, but it was like it was just so deliberate that when he slipped, it looked like, right, I've got to slip on this step. Maybe they put a number on it, a little dot or something.
Yeah. Okay.
But logic would say, mind you, we only ever see the hot pics of him mumbling and bumbling.
Yeah.
That's our experience. It's like maybe 5 minutes a day of him making an error or just ambling off in a direction he doesn't know where he's going. But that is enough for me to say.
That was what got him out of the race. They had a debate between him and Trump, and Biden just got crushed during the debate, and he could barely speak. And so all the Democrats said, you have to get out because you're not going to be able to beat Donald Trump in November.
No.
And so now they're going to go with Harris because Harris is a lot younger. Biden is 81 years old. And so Biden is the first president since the 1960s to not seek a second term.
Yeah. Who was the other one then? Who was the last one?
The last president before, Lyndon Johnson was the last president to not run for a second term. Lyndon Johnson took over after JFK was shot. JFK died. His vice president was Lyndon Johnson. Johnson became president. He won an election in 1964. He had the opportunity to run again in 1968. He chose not to run again because the Vietnam War was going on, and that was unpopular.
Wow.
So
yeah. What are the chances then of Obama stepping back into the limelight? Then is he allowed to do it?
No, he's not. He according to the 22nd Amendment, the president can only serve a maximum of 10 years in office. So what that means is if, let's say, a president is elected and
Yeah.
then 2 days later the president dies, the vice president takes over. The vice president can run for 2 more terms. But if the president is halfway through his first term and he dies and the vice president takes over, the vice president can only run for 1 more term, and the maximum they can serve is 10 years. So Barack Obama already served 8 years in office. If he were to run again and win, that would be 12 years, so that would be exceeding the maximum of years. So for that reason, he can't run again. Now,
How
there's
about this?
always
How about-
rumors. There's rumors that his wife would run, but his wife doesn't seem to be at all interested in politics.
How about this then? What would happen if, can he run for vice president?
No, he can't, because the
Oh.
vice president is still connected to the president role. And
President.
if he became vice president and then somebody else became president, he couldn't and then that president died, he couldn't serve more than 10 years. But if it was early on in a term, he would serve more than 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
I suppose it's meant to stop communism. Because once communism gets in, there ain't no changing that, is there?
Right.
So,
Right.
and that is evidenced by the fact that all we got to do is look at the communist countries. Really, only need to look at 3 or 4 of them. I think no, it's not the way to be. Really,
Right.
it's probably the least humane of everything, apart from something worse. But yeah. So the thing is, Silas.
Yep.
And going on to what the topic was. The topic was really addressing the new comment interaction strategy of censoring comments. It happened to me. I proved it was there by catching it on, I think, the beginning of this live stream, of me repeating the comment I'd made yesterday on somebody's live stream, on somebody's video, and then being told that it was hate speech. So that was what I want to address, the emergence of that, really, as a censorship tool. I don't think there's any way that it's going to get any. I don't think it can change, really, can it?
No, I don't think so.
It's just understanding what the criteria is, really, to get a hate speech tag. Because once you tag for hate speech once, they don't wipe it off. They don't say, right, we'll strike that one off. That never existed, Richard. We'll delete that. We'll do a Mandela effect on that one. And no, it doesn't like that. Again, but something, it just makes me suspicious that something might be on the horizon, very close, that they're introducing this to normalise speech, to curtail free speech, because something medical might be coming up. It's the only reason they've really shut that down, isn't it? Is for the medical agenda, because it all revolves around that, really, and keeping people distracted from ultimately what it is all about. It's an amalgamation of everything that we are trying to expose, from digital currencies right down to foodstuffs we eat, etc. Whatever our little niche bag is, then we all put it in the pot. So, and going back to, say, like a president or a prime minister, the best prime minister or the best president isn't the one that knows it all. He's the one that knows how to delegate. So you don't need to be a specialist in everything. You just need to be a specialist in understanding the roles and delegating and delegating the roles, and then implementing the best results that come out, isn't it? Like if we want to change the world, we would totally demolish the system as it is, because there's nothing really worth saving within that governmental system. A few things, perhaps, like your original freedom thing, Silas, that's worth saving, isn't it? Our common law, what was that, London? What do they call that? The Magna Carta? That seemed to work okay. Yeah, so we keep those, but everything else really needs to be rebuilt, right from the education system. And all we need to do really there is to change the curriculum and make it more humane and natural for a naturally growing and developing human being right from a baby. So that's the start of it. Is to get rid of all the need for input of drugs at birth, so we're not giving birth to addicts or those affected. So the whole system does need a great reset, but it needs a sensible one by sensible people that want everybody in the world to benefit exactly as much as they do. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Is everybody being perfectly equal in everything. Even the person that comes along and says, right, unless it's Jesus Christ, of course, and then, that's the only higher level. Everybody needs to be on the same page, on the same wage, relative to input. And in a happy world, everybody would be happy enough to put in the inputs and make their communities, therefore make their lives and lifestyles beautiful. Well, that's my case.
Hey, Rich, I've got to quickly take a phone call. I'm going to mute up for few minutes.
All right, my friend. Right, so Silas, that was what it's about. Is about curtailing free speech. Again, dividing us people with another divide that isn't a psychological divide. It's an actual technological technological divide. Therefore, we are now in that realm of cyber warfare.
Yeah, it is scary how, with AI and everything and all the, how much people can do with technology.
Absolutely that. But we are being used in a cyber war. YouTube is now in the cyber warfare, and they're cheating.
Yep.
Because they're liars. Full stop.
Yep.
They lie. This is the thing I've learned now. Don't let it get me angry that I've got to deal with this. There's always a funny side of it in understanding the weaponry and the techniques of the opposition. Although it's frustrating, like I say, what it does is it expands our own intellectual being by having another problem to solve that isn't the end of the world. If the computers went down for me, I think, praise the Lord, thank you, Lord. I hope that was you that's just shut all technology down. Please, Let's go back to the Garden of Eden. Please, we'll start again. We promise not to have any of that tempting fruit. We promise. That's what we've learned from this life, is to don't disobey God. That's what I've learned anyway. Don't disobey God.
Right.
It's right though, isn't it? Fundamentally.
Yeah, well, that was the point of Jesus's ministry, was that we were cut off from the divine nature, and we were reconnected to the divine nature through his sacrifice.
Yeah. Perfectly said. Amen. Thank you. Praise the Lord. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. That perfectly put that.
Yeah.
in a few words. I'm going to go back. I'll go back and rewatch this as I do. And there is always a nugget. London stood in for me while my internet crashed.
Right.
And he, you know, it was just like, wow. It was, I put him on the spot, and I can't thank him enough for what he did. It's putting somebody on the spot is quite tough, really, particularly when there's no control over, for example, being able to show a video.
Yep.
You know, I don't think you haven't got that control. You can, you know, if I crashed out now, you'd just be left to fill in the gap, Silas.
Yeah.
So, and you know, whatever your channel is, if that does happen, please, I welcome you to just explain. Just you don't have to fill in with entertainment. Just say, right, this is my channel. This is me.
Yep.
This is my these are my pearls of wisdom that I've gleaned in my life. You know,
Yep.
London come out with a fantastic, absolutely fantastic summing up just in time for my return, but I didn't actually catch it until I rewatched the entire live stream, and I was like, boom! I was riveted. It was like, wow! It was just so. I don't know. It flowed. It was just like apart from the shock, I think, of being dropped in a dark room. Just to be able to fill that gap. So if you want to come out with, I do welcome anything scriptural because, like I say, I'm learning. I was a late studier to the depth that I am now, where
Good.
I actually see what is meant by what is written.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's an absolute. This is why I urge those at their wits' end to just give God a try. Honestly,
Definitely.
in all seriousness, pray to Jesus to come and lift you out. And you know, the sacrifice is that we have to make is we have to avoid all those temptations that are laid before us and will be laid before us until the day we die. You know, swearing and cursing. It's all things that Jesus didn't do, as far as I'm aware. Or it's not promoted that he did. He didn't curse and swear. So that sort of helped me cure a habit, really, of using swear words.
Right.
And a lot of this been habit formed, isn't it? But things like thinking ill of people is a sin. And it took me a long time to realize that.
Yep.
It took me a long time until I realized it. And then I thought, yeah, it will make sense when you associate it with what we basically are is an energy created by the word of God.
Right.
Boom, and everything was just all shimmering frequencies, making us all individual. It's fantastic seeing it from the perspective of the way we see it is believing and trusting in God as being.
Right.
And then wow, it's like wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'd love everybody in the world to see it.
Yeah.
Indeed, you are as well if you're on ministry. So, you know, that's the sort of thing I welcome.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and you're right. I mean, that is a sacrifice people have to make. But you know, sanctification is a person becoming like Christ in their essence and their underlying being. That's why St. Paul writes in Ephesians chapter 1. He says, "Through sanctification, two men become one." He's referring to a person becoming like Christ. Through the sanctification of grace being dispensed by Christ's sacrifice on the cross, and so you know we Jesus didn't swear, Jesus didn't curse, like you said, Jesus didn't sin, and you know we have sinful inclinations, and we continue to posit sinful inclinations, as St. Paul says in Romans chapter 7. But the good news is through sanctification, we slowly become like Christ through the process of sanctification.
Amen. Praise and thank the Lord. Absolutely. Yeah, well put. That is. Yeah, I look forward to re-listening to this.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do. And the thing I did mention is the only regret really that I hold. I don't hold it as a regret really. It's just the way things were, but that I wasn't introduced to the Bible from day one really.
Yep.
Because what I do is I would like to have that ability that you've just demonstrated, which is be faced with an issue of the world and pluck something out of the Bible that puts it into scriptural context. Do you understand? That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm introduced to the Bible in really beautiful ways of interaction that are relevant at that time. So I'm, for that I admire, because I would love to be able to do that, just pull out rather than, just research and, but reading is research, but just to have that speed, I do admire it. So I thank you. I thank you. Welcome anytime to come on and.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Have any biblical input, because primarily, when push comes to shove, distilled down, I just want to lead people to Jesus Christ. Just aside of everything else, these conspiracies and these distractions, etc. There's a way within everything to lead people down that beautiful road that is with walking with Jesus Christ. So ultimately, that's what I want, because I just want to see people happy.
Yep.
And there's no easier way, really, when you think about it, or no simpler way. It's maybe not so easy, but it's a start. Like certain things, I don't know, pornography. I've never been into that. Some people might just have this insatiable appetite for it. I know people have been healed and seen the light, and been given a better replacement for that which has been sacrificed from the world, that is of the world, like pornography. The reward is far outweighs once it's achieved. The reward of all these things that we're trying desperately to give up,
right?
The reward is far greater in knowing that, right, I've just defeated temptation. Maybe, like, say, a beautiful woman's walking up the street, and it's a beautiful woman, but the look isn't one of looking at it as an object.
Right.
It's just okay. Well, that's caught my eye.
Right.
However, I'm not going to pursue it any further. I can shut that down, just because, to avoid that temptation of some fault getting in my defense system. It's just putting up that barrier of a non-penetrable barrier, which is, right, let's get back to being righteous. Boom. So it can be a split second. That reaction can be, see something, know the situation might lead to this, for example, whatever. I just use that because it's an easy one to assimilate with, because we all walk down the street, I imagine, and come across. Oh, my friend Rob's back. Right, I'm adding Rob at the moment. Yeah, so, yeah, welcome back, Rob. Rob, firstly, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello.
I'll introduce you to Pseudo Silas, aka
Hello.
Silas.
Hi, Pseudo.
This is Rob.
Hello.
Are you okay with the sound?
Yep.
Silas?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened earlier. It was just getting all distorted, and I kept getting booted out. It was weird.
Yeah. I've got a feeling it's they've done something. They've done something to the system, Rob. I think in my paranoia, which isn't a bad seat to sit in and watch the world go by, as long as I know that I am paranoid. I would say there's an element of trying to target specifics again, because what they're doing is introducing this curtailing of communication between certain channels, certain people. Now, a channel isn't a channel. A channel is a representation of a person. So I'm trying to have a conversation with you, or I'm trying to have a conversation with Ron, all by digital means, typing. Now, they've ramped it up a little bit, but it seems to have come instigated between, because this has been going on a long time, as we all know. David Yates, when David Yates was about, he was having the same problems, and we're going back years. We've known about this. Comments disappearing when our backs are turned. Now they've just let everybody know that, right, you've just made a comment. At least we're getting an explanation, but it's not a right representation of an explanation of what the comment actually says. In my instance, because it was down as hate speech when citing hatred. Well, I was talking about Donald Trump, and I stand in defense of justice, truth, and peace, and freedom of speech. Because he was free to speak. I got no judgment on him. I think he's an actor. Well, no, he's an actor. He's acted. World Wrestling or Federation member or something like that. He was involved in that. Hulk Hogan made an appearance in his campaign. Apparently, I haven't really been following it. I just you heard that, Silas? Yeah,
I saw that at the convention. He was there.
Yeah, ripping his shirt off. H A B C D E F G H. H is H. Okay, it's the 8th letter. H Hulk Hogan is 88. Donald Trump is 88. His number is, I think, is 008822, is it? Or 228822. Donald Trump is known as Mr. 88, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Am I right, Silas? Do you go down those sorts of conspiracy routes?
Not really. I'm not as big of a conspiracy guy.
Well, that's cool. But I mean, this is the thing. Something's changed in the world. Will you agree with that? That could be construed as being quite biblical.
Yep.
Do you see it that way?
Sorry, can you repeat that real quick?
Things are happening in the world quite rapidly as well, moving at a rapid pace, even though time seems to be going slow for me. All these are moving at a rapid pace because we're over halfway through 2024. Now, I've lost myself. Rob, tap me on the head, mate. Those meds. Oh. Silas,
can you? Because the sound again.
Yeah, Silas, can you update me on what I was on about?
Can you hear me,
you were
Richard?
talking about Hulk Hogan and a lot of things going on in 2024.
Yeah. It was about. Have you noticed anything that might be construed as being leading us somewhere that is within the Bible? Like perhaps Revelation is pretty much banded about as the sort of times we're in. Do you sort of see any of that? Not being a conspiracy theorist, but being somebody that is seeing the world go by, seeing all the events that are being put at the forefront of the news that line up with anything scriptural. Do you see any of that?
Well, I mean, nobody can know for sure. I mean, Jesus says in Matthew 24, when the time comes, no one shall know the day nor the hour. No one below the angels shall know. But the I mean, again, it's very difficult to know. The reason I'm kind of hesitant to answer that question is because it's just very difficult to know. I mean, Jesus Jesus himself says it could happen when you least expect it. I will say there are some things, sometimes I look outside and I'm like, ooh, that's a little bit weird based on what I've read about.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's very, I want to caution, you know, saying, you know, just jumping to that's definitely in Revelation, because you don't, you know, again, Jesus says there's no methodology to predict that. You know, one of the things St. Thomas Aquinas talks about is he talks about how miracles can't be judged on a scale. You know, science is essentially the scale of what we know. Photosynthesis, that's a natural occurring event. We know photosynthesis, so we can measure photosynthesis or something like that on a scale. We can't measure if angels pop out of the sky tomorrow. We can't measure that on a scale because that's not within the naturalistic realm of possibilities. That would be God breaking the laws of nature. So again, it's very, there's really no way to kind of measure on a scale when it's going to happen. I will say there are sometimes I look outside and I'm like, oh, that is some weird stuff. I don't know if that corresponds. But at the end of the day, there really is just no way to know.
Right. So if I said, right, okay, so you're kind of saying possibly that there's a turn of events that happen in Revelation and throughout the Bible lead us up to Revelation. Now I can't pull anything out to say this and this and this. The buy and sell thing seems something that might actually be fulfilled as a technique to stop people buying or selling. That is, you know, we are obviously aware of that, and the Great Reset and the central bank digital currency.
Oh yeah. So when I said there are some things that I kind of, you know, get worried about, that is definitely one of the things I get worried about.
Yeah. Well, it's not something we shouldn't. It's not something we should be worried about. I don't think, unless we're worried. You see, I'm in no rush because I think at the appointed time, whenever that is, there are people that need to be shown the light.
Right.
There's so many people that need to be saved that want to be saved, but don't know how to be. And when I say to be saved, I use that sort of tongue in cheek, really, as in not the way I would normally say it.
Yep.
It's just, you know, it is, but to be saved, it is to be saved from the turmoils of this world and etc. So there's one part of me that's thinking, all these people that are praying for Jesus, come now, come now. And I think, well, there's somebody sitting on the fence next door.
Right.
You know, if it happened now, that was not fair, that, because, you know, we could have been sort of 3/4 of the way there, or 7/8 of the way there, or 99 out of 100% there. It just takes that light that can only come from God, really, is that when the time is ready, that light will shine.
Yep.
So that's one hope, is that when the time is ready, if it's that split second before, that there's that split second of those that are sitting so close on the fence that were waiting for that sign from God. Because it happened to me. I had a sign from God that literally made me cry just because of what happened.
Yep.
Because it was a coincidence beyond anything I could write.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what it's like being born again. It's the ultimate experience that we can have on this earth. So, you know, but so I'm not rushing for the end. It's just a thing of noticing what time period we're sort of in, whether we could say, well, it really does seem like we're within the pages of Revelation.
Yep.
Possibly, because it can't be a bad thing to kind of panic a little bit, can it? Thinking, well, we've only got half a dozen pages left, or however many's left. Or we only got one word left to read. Oh, I forgot what was on. Yeah, I'm on these painkilling meds. They're mind blockers. They shut me down. You get my drift anyway, Silas. I think I probably explained that well enough for you to understand.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So it would just be great if all heads on earth were just waiting.
Yeah.
You know, just waiting. Just if all heads were just waiting and ready
Right.
for now. I'm not ready for now. By no means do I feel ready for now. Just because there's more to learn. So you're never ready. You know, there's more to learn. I've just learned. So, I've not learned anything scriptural today, really, apart from what you told me, which is unusual for me to go a day without watching a video or reading something. So, but to have something that's relevant is really fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, I get what you're saying. You know, a lot of people worry about, when's Christ coming back and all that type of stuff. The fact of the matter is Christ is available to us right now. I mean, Christ, we can pray to God right now. We can have a relationship with God right now. You know, we don't have to worry and despair about when Christ is going to return when we already have Christ right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I don't like seeing pain. I don't like seeing anything negative. So the feeling of other people in pain a lot of people in pain, flipping out, that would be something not to behold, really. I wouldn't like to witness anybody, not even one person, not even those that come as my worst enemy. Would I wish anything nasty on them? Because there's Robbie Dog there.
Yep.
Yeah. So the word is the most important thing for me. Eventually to get out. So I do welcome you to come on. But anyway, what I will do is say that was just in case I black out and you're left on your own, Silas. Please feel free to do that. I welcome it.
Yeah, of course.
So you have free reign. Robert.
Hey, how's it going, Robert?
Welcome, my friend.
I don't know what's happening tonight, but it's weird. I can hear you nice and clear now. And you, Silas, can hear you nice and clear. And then after about 2 minutes, it all goes.
Yeah, it might be you. It might be me. I'm not sure what it sounds like on playback. I will watch it on playback as I do, because there's just so many nuggets. There's anyone. The nuggets don't come from me. This is the beauty of people just coming on, like Zoo. Come on. He's come on a couple of times in a distant past, and he's just a man that I can listen to because he talks about real life, how it was, how it is. But he's not like yourself, Rob. Silas, how old are you, Silas? Can you tell me?
I'm in my 20s.
You're in your 20s. Wow. Yeah. What do you mean by in your 20s?
Well, I'm in that range.
Well, what are you, 21?
25.
Yeah, I did train as an interrogation officer, and that wasn't very difficult.
Yeah.
25. Rob, I'm 59, born in 1964. Robert is 59 as well, Rob.
Another 5 years on that one.
Another 5 years. So 1959. So you were born the same age that I am, in the year that I am the same age of. 59.
1960 I was born.
1960. swinging 60s, just in time, Rob. Well, it wasn't really, was it? You were 10 at the end of the swinging 60s. You couldn't do anything up to the age of 10 to do with the swinging 60s, could you? Apart from look at ladies' mini dresses, maybe. Mini skirts.
Those were the days.
So you're 25.
Back in the 70s when I was growing up.
Yeah.
They were good days. They were good days.
Yeah. There were different days, weren't there? There were better days, and being ignorant really was a good thing about being children.
I remember in '69 watching it on the TV, the fake moon landing. I believed it at the time. You know, it's only in the last 10 years or so that I've started finding out a lot of truths.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And that,
but, you know what you were saying earlier. You know, I was listening just before I came back on, and about those that are on the fence, those that have the right heart condition, they'll be guided to the light.
Well, we pray for them.
Yep.
We pray for them.
Did you get that?
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Those that have the right condition of heart, we pray for them. But they should be, well, no, I was going to say they should be easier than those that are cold-hearted, but, you know, who's the most important? Everybody that is receptive of anything that can attune the intuition between two people. Once you can attune with a person, put yourself maybe in their position, or be receptive of their energy. That is a way of communicating with certain people or certain topic about certain topics. Silas, have you dropped out?
Sorry, can you repeat that real quick? I dropped for a minute.
I watched that. What did I say, Rob?
No, nothing. Sorry, I think I dropped for a minute. Did you? What did you say?
I said, oh, it's just on about. We're talking about the cold and hard-hearted, the hard of heart. Those that have had the right heart condition, it should be a little bit simpler to let them see that they have what it takes, really. That, you know, whatever the sin is, it might be the tiniest.
Again.
Yeah. But anyway, while there are still people that need to be saved, I'm not going to say hurry up. Right. It's like watching people running for a bus, isn't it? Well, it pulls you away and you're sat on it. Oh no, I'll ring the bell. Stop! Somebody's running to get on. That's what I do.
Mm.
And it's the same with life, really. Somebody's always running to get on that bus, even though they don't know it. But they do know it because what they're running for is the answer to whatever problem they can't handle. And
right.
all of the problems on this earth are of this world.
Right.
They're all man-made psychological problems.
Correct.
That might, I mean, some people might class that as being some sort of new romantic Christianity. But if it is, well, that's the way it is then, isn't it? But I don't see it like that. It's just trying to explain things, really, so that people can understand.
Right.
In this world language, like using the central bank digital currency, and nobody can buy or sell unless they've got a specific mark. Now that might be blaspheming the intent of that word, of that phrase, of that word, by using it out of context. It might be. However, the comparison between the two leads me to think, well, there's nothing else really that it could be. Unless there can't be anything else really, unless there's something else that I can't think of. And I think a lot. But I sort of stopped there because that could then explain how that you cannot buy or sell unless you've got the specific, whatever the mark is. Might be just an allegiance.
Talking about the mark of the beast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the mark of the beast is.
You can't buy or sell now anyway because nobody's got any money or any possessions.
Well, there's that. The thing you have to understand about the mark of the beast is you go back to the Old Testament. The mark of God was circumcision. That was the mark of God. That's what they say in the book of Genesis with Abraham. It says that that's the mark. That's the mark of God. St. Paul says that used to be the mark of God under the law. Under Jesus, the mark of the law is baptism, being baptized. That's kind of like the regenerative force that pulls a person in towards the divine nature. The mark of the beast is kind of like the opposite of that. It's kind of like the force that pulls a person away from God. It's ultimately what locks a person into the occult, locks a person into the religion of the Antichrist. One misconception a lot of people have about the Bible is they think, oh, well, the Antichrist is one person. Well, the Antichrist is a religion. It's ultimately the being at the center of that, who is the person that leads it. The being at the center of that is the beast. The beast ultimately is the one who is the head of the Antichrist religion. And the mark, in the same way that baptism is a mark that pulls us into Christ, the mark of the beast pulls us away from Christ and pulls us into the Antichrist religion.
I get that. Yeah. And also, I mean, the word you use, the word pulls us away. There's surely also ways that they can repel us, or they're using to repel us from God.
Yep.
That is us making that choice ourselves. That ain't being pulled away. Now, being pulled away is you being forced to a degree, isn't it?
Right.
But that coercion is a danger, really. That temptation is the danger.
Right.
Really.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the occult, Satanism and the occult, it's all Satan's way of trying to make a person independently involved in the supernatural without the causation of God. We're told by St. Peter in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 4, that we can become members of the divine nature through Christ. So in some way, we're already ethereally connected to the supernatural through Christ. But if a person is disconnected through Christ, and they're trying to use the occult, or they're trying to use magic to try and, be involved in the supernatural, it would be like trying to fix an electrical cable without having any knowledge of how to fix an electrical cable. That's essentially what it is. But Satan wants people to do that because it builds up pride. It builds a person independent of God. But it also allows him through the supernatural to try and pull a person towards him and away from God. And the mark of the beast ultimately is his way of trying to seal a person into the Antichrist religion. It's the opposite of the body.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds plausible. Are you all right, Rob? Can you hear me, Rob? Rob? Yeah, I'd like your thoughts on that. That to me was beautifully explained, Silas. Thank you for that. And
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it is a club. I know that this is a system, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a club lead, like as you say. There can only be one.
I don't know what's going on with this.
There can only be one for them, as there is only one for us.
Right.
Right, Rob, nothing's coming out. You're not even moving on the screen. I've got a feeling it might be your connection. Was that Silas? Was that police car or emergency vehicle, was that at your end or was that Rob?
I'm not sure. I didn't notice a police car, so it
Yeah, that must.
might have just been outside of my window. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it might have been Rob because he's got a blue flickering above his head, so that might indicate that. Are you back yet, Rob? Yeah. So, oh, thanks for that input, Cyrus. I love it.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Let us know when you're back in, Rob. He's gone again. So, I mean, fundamentally, I can't really think what else I can do because what I wanted to address really was just the latest comment censorship thing that's popped up, because I just think obviously we know it's used for both good and bad. Unfortunately, they're kind of shutting down that which is real life experiences at certain things, opinions on affairs that are talked about worldwide. But I just reckon something's coming up in the censorship wars. Like I say, it doesn't bother me. As soon as the internet shuts down, what I will lose is Bible Gateway. I love Bible Gateway. That's my go-to. If I want an answer, I either use. I've got here a New Testament and Psalms, Gideon Bible, New Testament and Psalms. I've had it for a long time. It's pretty much, it saved me because it put me on a studying journey where I was intrigued by certain things, really, and I got the answers by a gentleman that gave me this. But in the beginning, at the front of this book, there's a section in this book, which is why I think it's a really, really useful book to have in the beginning, is it has a where to find help when. And it's got a list of things. Like the first one is if you're afraid of circumstances. It directs to Mark 4:35 to 41. Or, choosing a career. There's something in the Bible that answers every single question. And that is what I learned by a gentleman giving me this book, that the Bible has all the answers. That is one thing I learned.
Yep.
Because all the answers resonated with a commonsensical approach and a more natural approach to dealing with these things.
Right.
So, but that's that's so what I would miss when the internet goes down is I will miss Bible Gateway, and pretty much that's about it. I've missed this, but I've realised that something is it won't be a joy to be on the internet now, because all you will be is a beacon for yourself, really, and that's the time to get your head down and work on your community, really, which is far more valuable, in my opinion, as your community. But we are learning in this little short time of internet freedom, slowly being whittled away. But I've met you. You taught me a huge amount.
Yeah.
London, there's everybody I meet. There's just little beautiful nuggets that I think, wow, if I hadn't come on here tonight, I wouldn't have met you, Silas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have seen Rob. Yeah, so it's kind of funny, really, how there's a beauty in something so evil, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the way to look at it, is to forget all the anger and negativity, is to dwell on the negatives, because really, don't dwell on the negative. Mention the man again.
That's
Rob,
good.
are you back now? Rob's back, Silas. Rob, how are you? Robert.
Can you hear me, Rich?
Can you hear me, Rob? Say hello to him, Silas, please.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me, Rob? I don't think he can hear me.
I think he's got a problem.
It's
I think you got a
playing up
problem,
tonight,
Rob.
something chronic. It's not been like this for.
We'll sort it out. We'll sort it out another time, Rob. Because firstly, I want to share because this is all about censorship, really, and I wanted to find and share David Yates's BitChute, because I've had a few people asking me, "Oh, where's?" Well, don't ask me it like that. Where can we find David Yates? So if I share my screen and go and find him, you try and talk a minute, Rob. Just interrupt with something whenever you hear this. And
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. Okay, Rob.
I can hear you.
Have you just changed some settings?
Oh, right, okay. I don't know.
Well, I can hear you now. I'd rather hear you than me.
I haven't changed any.
Did you? What happened there then? Three of us. You must have just come on then. Us? Share screen. Right. Okay. So what did you think of Silas's explanation, Rob, of current events and how some things coincidentally?
This is really weird tonight. I've never had problems like this before.
All right. Well, what's happening here? What have you done? Did you click a button to take it out of
It
that,
must
Rob?
be me and you, Richard. They don't like me talking
So
to you.
Can you hear me now? I heard that.
I can hear you.
Rob, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is the crux of my point tonight. Is about what they're trying to do is they're trying to censor communication between certain people. Ron and me being two certain people they want to keep apart from each other for some reason. It's the same on BitChute as well. Ron's blocked from the UK on BitChute. But it was. But it's a censorship thing. Not the end of the world. I thought I'd cover it. The only reason I did it was so I could do it live stream and show it in real time of how one comment got me a day's ban from commenting. However, I can still comment on my live stream. Type. And truth will be known once I've finished it, whether or not I can comment on my own live stream in the comment section of the video, unless I or can I or can't I still comment? It's just testing out that thing, really. But I can't mention censorship without giving David Yates at least his channel a plug. So this is me on BitChute. If you want to stay in connection with me, there's a link on my homepage to BitChute. I don't use it very often. I might start using it again. Right. Yeah. And I'm looking for David Yates, aren't I? Oh, what am I doing here? Subscriptions. Subscriptions.
I'm going to have to come off because this is no good. It's not working for me tonight. I'm sorry, Richard.
Oh, no worries. Well, I'll tell you what we do. We do a practice between you and me, just to see how it does so we're not having these problems when we're live streaming. This is David Yates' channel here on BitChute. Because people do ask me, where is he? David Yates. And he's still doing them because I got one I was going to upload, which I copied. Cheers, Zoo. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. So, show that. David Yates. Comments. That's him on BitChute. I'll put any more links in the description below the video, so I'll just test that out. I can't think of anything else about censorship, really, that I want to cover. The Trump thing, I've got a few things that I did a live stream about the Trump thing, and then that was on, I think, the day after or the day, whenever it was early on, that I come across a video that nobody else was playing, and it was about one of the forklift trucks that looked like it got hit by a bullet. Nobody else had actually, I hadn't seen it anywhere else apart from this one person. And then I actually managed to find it because the one with the London man and me went over on my live stream, because we both went over it, has subsequently been deleted. But I still managed to find the same footage of something. And then I said, right, I'm not gonna have any input into this, apart from what we've gone over. Was it did look like it could have been for the cameras, okay? I said, until Donald Trump speaks, public address speaks, I'm not going to say anything. And then what he actually spoke, I'm glad I put it off actually, because there's only a few things in it he said. It's pretty much a dead giveaway for how much of a propaganda stunt that it turned out to be his first speech. It was a load of rubbish. So I won't do it on a live stream because it'll take me too long. But there's a few things, and then let's move on and just realise that it is of the world. It's nothing to do with me. Just be wary of it. And it's one of those things that we're tempted to get involved in. That it's one of those things that Silas said. It's those things that draw us away from God, really, because we start having. It's easy to have a negative thought creep in, as a lot of people did in their responses to, shame we missed, and just little comments like that. That draws out the evil in people, without people realising it. What they're actually doing is being fucking evil. Pardon my French, but it is. I lost my composure there, but that is a sort of realisation that, wow. What you said, Silas, coincides exactly with that. Is in drawing people away.
Yep.
And also forcing them away. So it's like on a booster, isn't it? It's like that drawing with a booster, because it's so easy to trigger people.
Yeah.
For Satan, yeah.
Right.
So to be wary of not getting drawn into forming opinions such as that. Draw us into forming some sort of negativity, because that's the last thing. It doesn't matter how small it is. It's what we don't want, really. So I've seen that. I will do the final video of it and move on to something else. I think the next thing, Rob and Silas, this might well interest Rob more because it's at home and a new government and the Fabian Society. Are you familiar with them, Rob?
Fabian Society? I don't think so.
Are you not familiar with the Fabian Society? Well, what I've actually done.
Sorry, mate. You've been breaking up a lot again.
Yeah. Well, I don't think. I think it's your end, Rob. You've got a problem with your end. I think. But the Fabian Society, the UK column, do you follow those, Rob? News outlet, they've been going for years. I'll put a link to their channel in the description. I might even look it up. What I don't want to risk is having
I
too
don't know
many
what's
tabs
up with this tonight. I'm looking at the comments thing, and it's not even letting me put any comments in.
Isn't it?
You know, it normally gives you the way you can put in your chat. It's not letting me do that either.
Wow. Try it on the YouTube. Mute YouTube. Stop it playing. If it is playing, stop it playing.
Well, my internet connection is fine, Rich. I've checked my internet and on the Wi-Fi signal on the screen.
I haven't said check your internet.
It's just showing that there's one bar on there, but when I check my internet, it's right to the top. So this is weird.
Well, you've got a connection problem then with your internet, and the provision
I've just
for the service is lower.
Cursor on it. It says connection. It says connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging it into your router or moving closer to it. Well, I couldn't be much closer to the router, and my Wi-Fi signal is strong. When I've looked at the PC,
have you got it plugged in, Rob? Rob, have you got it plugged in?
It's like it doesn't want me to be on here.
Have you got it plugged into the router?
No, it's not plugged in direct. I'm on Wi-Fi, but
well, try it without Wi-Fi.
No, it's not plugged into the router.
Wi-Fi is rubbish, Rob. You're carrying a lot of.
It's not normally. I've never had a problem like this before.
You've got one now. Anyway. All right, Zoo. I don't think I'll be around for too much longer because there's a few videos I would like to do. I've done what I intended to do. Rob, it's great seeing you again. Like I say, you're looking so well, my friend. Did you have a police car go by your house just now? You can't hear me. Oh, you got a delay.
Did I have what?
A police car. You got a delay. So my suspicion is you're watching it on YouTube. However, we'll sort it out, Robert. Great to see you again. Thanks for popping on. I'm not hanging around for too long because I want interaction with you, but what I want to move on to briefly is if we get together again is to talk about the Fabian Society, because I've got a good explanation by UK Column News YouTube channel regarding the Fabian Society and the Labour Party and other members of the Fabian Society and what the Fabian Society actually is. Now I'm going to make a video of that when I hang up here. I'm going to do that one because all I'm doing is mirroring a video by UK Column. So all I've got to do is edit out the bad bits, post it, look it up. I think that's the thing that we can have an effect on here in Britain, in England and Britain, politically, is to understand what system we're in the clutches of now, to understand how the politics is going to move us along this revelation line. If it is such a time. Rob's gone.
Yeah.
Silas, so we've had something quite major happen, I think, and that is the what do I call it? The Fabian Society.
Yeah.
My next video I will put up will be a video regarding the Fabian Society because it's quite pivotal in the takeover of the world by the one world system, the one world religion. You know, these things have been prophesied, yeah?
Yep.
Now, whether or not that in these days these things are being forced because they're working to the Bible as a script, and maybe it's not a natural way that God is going to let it play out because we might be miles away from it. You know, like you say, we don't know when. So the whole system is at the moment is a pantomime.
Yep.
Only to understand certain politics and what certain politics will entail, such as a communism, you know, it might be one of those things that make it, you know, we don't want that. We've got to stop that before it happens, and it's only just happened. But what happens here happens around the rest of the world when we're dealing with changes in governments, because that is the spearhead, that is the mouthpiece of the Antichrist. Got to be, nothing else.
I agree. That's what they're building up. That's kind of what they're building up, is a global power to kind of help the Antichrist, you know, counter the 1.8 billion Christians that exist on the planet.
Absolutely, yeah. Plus,
hey, it was great talking to you. I got to head out right now, but it was great talking with you. I'd love to do it again sometime.
Listen up. Can you leave a comment and then I can change your channel up?
Yes, I'll do that right now.
And if you're not subscribed, I don't ask people to subscribe, just because I think it used to be common knowledge to subscribe. However, some people might need a nod in the right direction. I wouldn't make it a thing. You know, like, share, subscribe. Doesn't matter if you like or share, but just for this, just to understand the politics of this country, because we're so closely knitted and yet so far apart in a lot of things that you know that what happens over there happens over here, and what happens over here also happens over there in different timelines.
Right.
So, you know, it might interest you. The Fabian Society, if you want to do a little bit more delving into it, but that'll be, I'll put that up within a couple of hours, actually.
All right.
And I'll thank you ever so much, Pseudo-Silas, for coming on. That's been an absolute joy, that.
Yeah, of course. Let me leave a comment real quick on your...
For me, yeah, that was a joy for me, that, because, like I say, all I want to hear is the gospel, really. The good news.
I agree.
So,
let me
I'll
leave a comment on your latest video. All right.
Okay, doke.
There you go. All right.
Oh, actually, I could look you up because you made a comment on in the live stream, haven't you? So I can look you up there.
Okay, sure. I can do that in the live stream too. And then
appreciate
you having me on.
I can do that as a link in the live stream, stream chat. So don't you fret, my friend. You're a little gift for me today, a big gift actually.
I get these little gifts. You saying that?
Yeah, honestly, I promise. God gives me gifts, and you are the exact gift that I've asked for. That's all I ask for. So thanks and praise God, I do. Thank you, the Lord, for bringing us together.
Appreciate that.
And yeah, I'll look you up.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, my friend.
Bye.
Well, you let yourself out. Oh, he has. Okay, doke. Right. Cheers, Scott. That was ages ago. That was like 20 minutes ago, maybe. Well, thank you for that. I don't think anybody else is. Wow. All right. Thank you, London, for popping on. What I will do is I'll just finish off what I was doing here. This is David Yates' channel. I think I shared that. I think I've already shared that in. Let me go back here a minute. Let me share my screen. Let me get rid of that. Okay. I mean, really, what I'm doing is collecting evidence. If you want to use it in an expose of what's happening, use it. Right at the very beginning was the best bit, really. For comments. And the best bit was pretty much once I was joined by my guests. Apart from sad about Rob, because Rob's a Bible fan as well. Rob's a Bible man and a Jesus Christian. Jesus Christian. So I'm in really good company. I thank God for that. I thank the Lord. I truly do. So what I'm going to do now is share it. I hadn't added. No wonder I couldn't share. Right, this is David Yates on BitChute. His last video was June 21st. Okay, so I put a link. I know I put a link in there. I'm going to see what he has to say. In the meantime, I've got to make some adjustments to the audio. Silas, I love you, my friend. God bless you. Thank you, thank you. That was fantastic, that. Perfect. Perfect. Right, settings. Yeah, our absent friend David, audio. Now, there is a possibility that at some point, when I push this here, I will disappear and I'll put it on the video.
And again, everything you see above me here, folks, left by these aircraft, you look into the distance here and you can make out the lines from an hour or so ago, widening out, shining out there, folks.
Back now. I was just talking. I said so much. that to myself. Right, that might speed things up, I hope. Do anybody use Gab? Right, I don't want that, I'm interested in that. Gab. Book of Psalms. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he doth meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Boom! Yeah, I could use Gab for a bit. That's on BitChute. Got taken down on YouTube after about a year. That's worth looking at. It was a sharing platform for me back then, and I haven't used it. But Gab, is a good. I received an email that I opened this morning, about Gab had refused. Now, from memory, I think it was Belgium, the rights to censor a certain person that has got an account on Gab. I think that was the gist of it. Without bringing the email up, I can't give it true justice, really, as to what it did say. But that was the essence of it. That Gab were approached. This could all be a psyop. It's all part of the system. There's no way around it, really. You just got to go through it and accept that everything we do on the internet is at risk of peril. But yeah, I've got links somewhere for that. Gab and X. That was David Yates. This is me. Right. I can do this, can't I? That's me on Gab. BitChute, I'm pinned. That's it. Truth in Time, are you still there, my friend? Sorry I didn't address you earlier. If you want to come on and say something, I'll throw it. Alright, bro. Yeah. Well, safe. I was safe work. Work sensible, not hard. And I guess that's about wraps it up, really. I can't think of anything else without deviating off the topic too far of comments and censorship. It just seems that we're given less and less freedom, and that is a massive chunk of freedom loss, because that would include non-creators as well. Now, I don't know how the system treats them before now, but yeah, so they've increased those that just go around making really intelligent comments. So I don't think anybody's watching now. I think it's only me that's watching. So I'm gonna head off south, go and see what is on my homepage, and that's about it, really. Okay. So I will, hopefully I can get a few more live streams in and keep up to date with anybody, really. Particularly Rob. Poor Rob, I haven't spoken with him for ages like that. Well, no. So anyway, I'm going to end it now. Alright? Thanks for watching. Praise the Lord. Please, just do it. Thanks. Thank you, thank you. And just be really cool, I suppose, about it. Alright? End stream. End stream.